I get the sniffles. Is the mic on? Episode 139. What's wrong with Orny Adams? Welcome back. This is your first time. Hello. Hello. Well, I saw this headline. I thought, this is the best news ever. Experts predicts women will be having more sex with robots than men in 2025. Bring it on. Bring it on. Here's another great fact we'll be talking about on this podcast. Ants and humans are also the only creatures in nature that consistently cooperate while transporting large loads that greatly exceed their own dimensions. All right, let's do it. 139. Got the headsets on, got the theme playing. It's 2025. Got the date right. Got the year right. 2025. 2025. He's got crazy hair. He's got great big eyes. The hair's less crazy. Do we have to change the theme now?
What's his name, Kev?
Orny Adams.
Put them together and what do you got? We got Orny Adams.
What an episode I have lined up for you tonight. Today. I'm all out of it. I've got the sniffles. The other day I was on stage. And the comic before me, I'm going to bring this down a little. Eric, when I say I'm going to bring it down a little, that means you bring it down a little on the master recording too. I was on stage the other night. The comic before me got off a little bit early, and I was prepping for my set by eating apricots. I'm eating a lot of apricots these days. That's my new superfood. Okay, you guys can have turmeric. You guys can have whatever you want. My superfood is dried apricots. I have about 5 different varieties going right now. The ones from Turkey are sweeter than the ones from California. Figure that out. I've got a cold or something. I'm so sick of not feeling 100%. When is the last time anybody felt 100%? I guess as you get older, it's just getting through the day. I don't know how most people do it. I don't, because if you have kids and other responsibilities besides just doing a dumb podcast and some other light business that you have to do, I don't know how people do it. I think the world's, it's tough. Anyway, so I'm fighting a cold. I've got a head cold. I've got a headache. I'm not sleeping. It's the same complaints, and I'm tired of it. Tired of not feeling 100%. And I was excited because I'm going to Orlando, and the person that hired me, I'm doing a private show, just sent me an email and said, hey, heads up. Oh, heads up. Heads up for what? It's going to be 30 degrees in Orlando. When did Florida become freezing? Right? What is freezing? 32 degrees? It's going to be below 32 degrees in Florida. The deal we have with you, Florida, is you can be wacky and crazy, but keep your weather warm. Not getting on a plane to go to 30 degrees. I mean, I'm going to be in Chicago at the end of the month. I spit on myself. I just spit on myself. I'm going to be in Chicago at the end of the month, January 30th to February 1st. Thursday shows, I think, sold out already. I've got to put that up on the website. But I'm trying to encourage people to come to late shows. But what I'm saying is, if Orlando is colder than Chicago, we got a problem. We got a situation. We have something that needs to be addressed. We might need to switch those states. Chicago might need to move to Florida. Florida might need to move to Chicago. And because this is unacceptable. So something's going on with my mouth. I don't know what's going on. On stage the other night, I was getting ready for my set with my apricots. And the person got off the stage a little too soon. And then the host got up and just brought me up. This was New Year's Eve, I think. And I had to quickly grab the 2 apricots, because I'm not doing 1 apricot at a time. What am I, a child? What am I, a kid? I got 2 in there. Now I gotta yank it out of the side of my mouth almost like it's like I'm chewing tobacco. Throw it in the trash can. Get up on stage. There's still a little piece stuck. Like a piece of gelatin stuck, and I can feel it moving. And I'm on stage going, oh, please don't make it to the front. Please don't make it to the front. Oh boy, don't make it to the front. And sure enough, I discussed it on stage. The minute I discussed it, I said, I got to be honest with you. I stuck my finger out. I go, there's a piece of apricot stuck. Now, when you're at a comedy show, you never think a comedian's going to stop the show and say, there's a piece of apricot stuck in my teeth, but that's what I offer. And to be honest with you, the set was kind of going okay. But the minute I said that, the people felt closer to me. It's a fact. They're going to do a study someday that people feel closer to people that have apricots stuck in their teeth. And after that, the set was wide open. And we all sort of waited, bated breath for what was going to happen with the piece of apricot. And sure enough, as the set elevated towards the close, and I'm upstage yelling, apricot flew out, hit the guy in the front row on the shoulder. That's how that guy has to end 2024. 2 great shows at the Laugh Factory New Year's Eve. Wow, the first show was through the roof. And I contacted them. I said, could you please send me that set? And of course, they didn't record it. And there was such a great moment. A woman from Dallas, she said she's from Dallas, Fort Worth. And I was like, what's the difference between Dallas, Fort Worth, and Dallas? And then another couple that was from Dallas said, nothing, we're just from Dallas. I said, what's with these people trying to elevate their status by adding Fort Worth at the end? These snobs. It's Dallas. And it was really a funny back and forth. Remember, the audience loved it. I can't remember exactly what I said because, this was the pre-apricot. That was the first set. The second set was where there was the apricot incident. But, of course, the Laugh Factory didn't record it. Well, here we go. What's wrong with Orny Adams? In this day and age. How is the thing not recording? I went upstairs into the office, looked at the computer, looked like it was recording. This life gives me a headache. Anytime something great happens to me, not caught on video. You know what I mean? So then, second show, I look out, this guy in the front row, I'd like to know who this kid is. He's now seen me 3 or 4 times. First saw me in San Diego, first night with his girlfriend. Came back the second night, brought his buddy. Then he saw me in Irvine at the Improv. And then he came New Year's Eve, spent $80 a ticket to see Orny Adams at the Laugh Factory. And I said to this kid, I said, how many times have you seen me? I said, that's great. And I looked at a guy to the right who I ended up spitting the apricot on. And I said, what's your excuse? How many times have you ever seen me? And the guy goes, I saw you last week at the Comedy Store. I thought, this is good. Something's happening. People are coming to see me. It was a great show. The first show, Maz Jabrani was on it. Our buddy, he was on the podcast. Love Maz. Nikki Glazer running her jokes for the Golden Globes. I think she's going to do a great job. Happy for her. Really, Nikki's really nice. And I don't know if I've ever said this before, but Nikki expressed publicly great support for me and my comedy. And because of that, I respect her. I respect her. Look at this. California driver admits to drinking and driving on New Year's Eve after being pulled over. Quote, he said, I'm the DUI tonight. This guy's so proud that he's the DUI. Well, what is the story? Why did he say that? A man was taken into custody after humorously admitting to police that he drove drunk. The Marietta Police Department... Marietta? Sounds like Georgia. Marietta. Is Marietta Los Angeles outside the loop? Like Marietta, Georgia? The Marietta Police Department posted body cam video online of a traffic stop with 2 officers conducted an hour into New Year's Eve. This guy didn't make it long into 2025 without making a big mistake. Police say the man was pulled over after he was spotted swerving on the road. Officers pulled him over. They asked him if he was coming, where he was coming from. The man responded saying, I was just dropping off my friend because I'm the DUI tonight. What he was trying to say is, I'm the DD. I'm the designated driver. This guy just told on himself. What an idiot. And of course, there's body cam. What a nightmare. Nowadays, you screw up, it's a body cam. Now you're a viral video. What happened in the old days when you could get drunk and drive, get pulled over and get a ticket and it wasn't, in 4K? The man then admits to drinking a beer and champagne. Oh, well, what kind of man drinks beer and then champagne? What has this country come to? Men admitting on body cam footage that they drank a beer and then champagne. Sure, it was just a beer. Police say he struggled to maintain balance and nearly fell over multiple times. I want to see this video now. He was eventually arrested for DUI and taken to jail. See, when I was a kid, it was called DWI, driving while intoxicated. Everything's got to be changed, doesn't it? Then they have to give the sobering facts. No pun. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, about 37 people in the U.S. die each day in drunk driving-related accidents. Ooh, that's one person every 39 minutes. In 2022, 13,524 people died in alcohol-impaired driving traffic deaths. What about pot? What about that? What about all the people microdosing? Ugh. Everybody's messed up. Nobody's got a clear head. I don't have a clear head because I think I have long COVID. I don't have a clear head because I don't know, I'm losing my mind. But I imagine how much I could get done in life if I had a clear head. I imagine. I sit around dreaming. How good could it be if my throat didn't sound strained and I had a clear head again? Am I the only one fighting this? So somebody recommended, watch this, Black Doves on Netflix. Have you seen this? Black Doves on Netflix. It's a British, spy series. 6 episodes, I think. So I'm watching it. And like the British like to do. In the old days, before Guy Ritchie, the British people spoke very clearly. You could understand. Would you like a cup of tea? Now, we got these British people on our Netflix. I got a real problem with this. Looking straight into the camera B over here. These British people have stopped being articulate on the programs we have to watch. It started with Guy Ritchie, where he's got a gun in him. Now you got to have subtitles. I don't like that I have to have subtitles for a language that I'm fluent in. So I got the subtitles going, and I don't know if it's just this show or if this is the trend or this is AI or what's happening with the subtitles, but they're getting a little bit cocky here, little bit too descriptive. Okay, it's not just the people speaking. They're describing for the hard of hearing. And I'll even go as far as to say the deaf, if we call them that anymore. Maybe we call them people without hearing. I don't know what we call them. But deaf sounds a little bit harsh. I apologize to all my deaf listeners. To the people listening to this podcast on iTunes and Spotify and Apple that are deaf, I apologize to you. I think when I put this on YouTube, it has subtitles. I think the AI does that. But so here are the descriptions, okay? I noticed this, and then I started to take pictures. And I thought it was going to be there was going to be 1 or 2, 3 pictures I was going to take and discuss it. There's 25 slides I'm about to present from Black Doves of what I would say unnecessary over-language, overly flowing language. I can't even describe it. If the subtitle people were describing their subtitles, they would do a better job. But here's the first one. Here's the lead actor. And you can hear a bird in the background. That's what I would say, bird in the background. They called it, in parentheses, fluttering. So anything in parentheses is like a sound. Then it becomes pigeon cooing. I grew up on the beaches of Massachusetts, Maine, Cape Cod, Salisbury Beach. Not once did we ever say, look at the pigeons are cooing. There's no reason to use a word that we don't use every day. Well, what do these people think? They're Shakespeare? Machinery whirs, WHIRS. I would say machine sound. How about that? I don't need to feel like I have shitty vocabulary when I watch a show. Rain patters. What are we? What are we, poets? What are we, Emily Dickinson here? Music swells. Swells. No. The ocean swells. The music gets louder. And if you're watching gunshot clatter, if you're watching the podcast, I've got these slides up. Woman gasps. Oh, that's not bad. Screaming, not bad. Train screeches, comma, rattles. Wasn't enough that it screeched, it also rattled. These people are putting a lot of time into these descriptions. I would say train comes to stop. I think we all know what that sounds like, unless you've never heard it before. If you've never heard it before, screeches and rattles doesn't mean anything. Somber music playing. Somber music. How about sad music? Haunting female vocalizing. There was like a... And I'm not even too sure the hard of hearing even need to know that. I would feel so bad if I was hard of hearing that now I have to deal with this crap. Music fades, exhales softly. I think we can see the actor exhaling softly. Train whirring. The train was rattling a minute ago. Hold on. The train screeched, rattled, and now it's whirring. Boy, they love the word whirring. Train rattles again. Tapping. Tap. We hear tapping. Guy's making coffee. We see him put the scoops of coffee into the machine. We know it's tapping. We know there's a sound. Hinge squeaks. A door opens. Hinge squeaks faintly. Guy's being beat up. Grunts, groans. Attacker number 2 groans. Guess we need to know it's attacker number 2. Then we have 2 people, I'm not kidding, literally fighting, making noises, and they describe it as straining. Serene music plays. Heavy breathing softens. What are they, Shakespeare? What are these guys? What are they? I mean, is this straight out of the screenplay? I mean, this is a bit much. Muffled gunshots. Then I took a video. Here's just one sequence. Ready? This is a beginning of an episode. Ready for this? Tense music plays. Okay? Rain patters. Guy's sitting in his car. He's smoking. We're just watching this. The date comes up 2014. So it's a flashback. He's still smoking. Chuckles wryly. The girl chuckles whatever that word is. Train rattles. Engine starts. I'm watching this muted. None of this matters. None of this matters. Other guy's walking somewhere. I mean, these subtitle people have gotten a little bit cocky and arrogant. And for me, it's a distraction to the viewing. I want a set of subtitles that's just the people speaking. Just the British people that can't speak in a way that the English is understood by other English-speaking people. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the British people. We might have to go over there again, get some of their tea, and dump it in the Boston Harbor and go, hey, cut the shit with the speaking on the TV shows. Could you please speak so we can understand you? Let me ask you a question, British people. And be honest. Do you guys have trouble understanding us? When we got people speaking Southern accents? No, we're clear. We're clear. Very seldom do we have to subtitle American people. Sometimes there are some, white trash people that speak very white trashy, and even I can't understand it. You got to subtitle it. But I can understand most Americans, even drunk. And I think you British people can too. So cut the crap. Cut the crap. Cut the crap, UK. And Orlando, get your weather together. Oh, this is what I wrote when I was watching the show. Here's another reason why I would never want to be deaf. I don't know what these descriptions mean. I would be so frustrated trying to figure out what a train whirring is versus a train screeching, halting, blah, 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 blah. In regards, oh, might have to subtitle that. I might be the first American that has to be subtitled for the British people. I realized New Year's Eve, I decided to work rather than pretend to go to a party because I don't need to stay artificially busy. And a lot of people like to just remain artificially busy so they feel good about themselves. Let's talk about ants versus humans. Are ants smarter than humans? Okay, let's just think about that for a second. I think we all know the answer is no. No, ants aren't smarter than humans. Ants prove superior to humans in group problem-solving maze experiment. Oh, whoop-de-doody-doo! They beat us on one thing? On a maze experiment? I think ants are probably better at humans than sneaking into the back of the cupboard in the kitchen in the summer and getting into the cornflakes and eating those. Think they can do that better than humans too. Doesn't make them smarter. This is from like a psychology something. This is a credible source. I thought I put the link up. Where's the link? Oh, boy, I didn't. Okay. Counterintuitive findings speaks to fundamental differences in how ants and humans approach collective problem solving. Individual ants cannot grasp the global nature of the puzzle. That's because they're dumb. A single ant is dumb. You ever see a single ant roaming around? You're dumb. You're supposed to be in a colony. You're supposed to be in a straight line going up to a food source and then bringing it back. But their collective motion translates into emergent cognitive abilities. In other words, it's starting to sound like subtitles. Let's just say it under the subtitle. Emergent cognitive abilities. They develop new problem-solving skills simply by working together. Large ant groups showed impressive, persistent coordination, maintaining their direction even after colliding with walls, efficiently scanning their environment until finding openings. So what they did was, it's called the maze study. They took like a T. I'm talking about like I know what I'm talking about. I just saw this for the first time. There's a video. They put a split screen of humans trying to carry a T-shaped object through a maze, and then the ants, obviously a different size, they made it proportional, and they had individuals doing it. They had like 5 ants, 5 humans, and then a lot of humans. And where the ants excelled was when there was a lot of them working together. They got their shit done. Humans couldn't figure it out. Of course, humans weren't allowed to communicate. They had masks on. They couldn't sort of direct each other. So it's not really fair because obviously the ants are directing each other. I mean, it's almost like whoever did this study, it's almost like they wanted the ants to win. It's almost like they just wanted the title. They just wanted to say this, wherever it is, ants are smarter than humans. They just wanted to say ants are smarter than humans. The other thing is the ant tea thing was food. So these ants thought they were bringing food back to their colony. The humans were just hired to do this study. And what do they give a shit? What do they care? I'd sit there carrying the tea with the 12 other people going, what do we really care? I'm going to sneeze, by the way. I told you I'm sick. Sneeze is coming. I'm telling you, sneeze is coming. Breaking news, the sneeze is now gone. Sneeze is gone. I apologize, I overreacted. The study highlights a crucial distinction between ant and human societies. An ant colony is actually a family. So all the ants in the nest are sisters and brothers, and they have common interests, and they're tightly knit community in which cooperation greatly outweighs competition. says Professor Offer Feinerman, who's the one who did the study. That's why an ant colony is sometimes referred to as a superorganism, sort of a living body composed of multiple cells that cooperate with one another. So these... oh, God, what another dumb story. So these ants, what they discovered was they work together as a group better than humans work together as a group. I could have told you that. But it's because survival. They need each other. You know why ants need each other? Because on an individual basis, they're this big. And they can't get shit done. Humans, we can get stuff done on our own. That's why we don't care to get this thing through the maze. You see the video, them getting this thing. We don't care to get it through the maze. There's nothing in it for us. We are more individualistic. So yeah, maybe the ants work better, but they're not smarter. Okay, this shit. This is what people are studying. Thank you. This is what people are studying. Unbelievable. This is what we're putting our money into. Here's another study. Instead of trying to figure out why Orlando is 30 degrees in January, much like Chicago is 30 degrees in January, why those two cities are now the same temperature, why we're not doing a study why the British people have stopped articulating when they speak so Americans can understand them on TV shows, why that's not, I don't know why that's not being studied, why we're not trying to figure out cancer, that thing. I think we probably know what that is, probably because a cure means a lot of people lose money. Big Pharma loses money with a cure. Scientists finally cracked the age-old secret of hula hoops. This is what people are doing with their days. You gotta be kidding me. Imagine you meet somebody out at a bar. Hey, what do you do for work? I don't watch this. I don't know if you read about it, but that big hula hoop study that just came out. Yeah, that was me. Yeah. I talked New York University. New York University into funding a hula hoop study. Yeah, this is what New York University is doing with the tuition money and the endowment, putting it into hula hoop studies instead of stuff that really could help the world be better. Like why is Orny in a fog for the last 2 years? I'd like New York University to study that. A team from New York University Applied Mathematics Laboratory. The New York University's Applied Mathematics Laboratory reveals that successful hula hooping requires more than just hip action. It demands precise body geometry and movement patterns that create subtitle this, unique form of mechanical levitation. What a boring study. We were specifically interested in what kinds of body motions and shapes could successfully hold the hoop up. Who was specifically interested? What group of losers? You ever watch a really shitty TV show? Sometimes I watch really bad TV shows and movies and go, how is this greenlit? How am I sitting alone in a 1960s Shasta doing a podcast with no support and this got made? I mean, the scientific community must be like, why don't we study toenail fungal? Get to the bottom of that before the great hula hoop mystery, which to me was no mystery. Nobody ever cared. I mean, anytime you see somebody that's really good at hula hooping, you always look at them and think, get a life. And there's always one show off in the neighborhood. And then that hula hoop ends up in the back of the garage for generations. Nobody cares. And then they get into the science of it, like a helicopter, and is it better to have the hula hoop closer to the body, away from the body? So they use robotics. Of course, here we go with the AI. And they did different body types. And they found out that your body must have both hips and a defined waist. Well, guess what? Good old snake hips here doesn't have a chance. And that's why I'm bitter towards hula hoopers. You know those people that can just hoop for a long time? I could never do it because I have snake hips, what my dad called snake hips, because snakes don't have hips. And from a young age, my pants have never stayed up, and neither has the hula hoop. And why doesn't New York University study that? Why don't they study snake hips? Because to me, this is a disability that deserves attention And I think that people should be more understanding when my pants fall down, when my ass crack comes out. It's not coming out because I bought the wrong size pants. It's not because I didn't try a belt. It's not because I don't care. It's not because I'm flippant to the community. It's because I have a disability called snake hips. And I want to be taken seriously. And I'd like New York University to study hips. Snake hipism. This is the final line of this study. Our results might explain why some people are natural hoopers and others seem to have to work extra hard at it. Yeah, not one mention of snake hips. Not much of a study as far as I'm concerned. This is what people are spending their time on. Imagine you have a kid and then your kid goes off to college and comes back all excited about studying the hula hoop. What a disappointment that would be. Be unbelievable. Hey, if you want to write emails, I've got a bunch of emails. I do want to say hello specifically to Howard. I think I may have done this on the last podcast. My Patreon guy comments on everything and sends me emails. I appreciate it. I'm reading everything. I have a lot of emails. So thank you, everybody. And I don't want to just do like one sentence back. I want you to know I read it and I care. But keep sending them. What's wrong at ornyadams.com. You know, last episode, Rachel sent in one and it became a discussion about otters. And you can go swim with otters. What an utterly stupid thing. But I want to hear from you. What's wrong at ornyadams.com? And my tour schedule. Let's just get this out of the way 30 minutes into this podcast. The tour schedule is what's wrong. The tour schedule is what's wrong with Orny Adams. He doesn't have a clear head. The tour schedule, how about I have a little caffeine? Maybe that will wake up this podcast. And man, am I going to take a sleep when this is done. I'm going to take a good old sleep, good old nap. ornyadams.com/tour. That's my tour schedule. Okay? I can tell you where I'm going to be coming up. January 18th, I'll be at the Ice House in Pasadena, California. This show is almost sold out. By the time this podcast comes out, it probably will be sold out. Maybe there's some single tickets left. I don't know. Then I will be in Chicago. January 30th, January 31st-ish, and February 1st. Okay? I panic because it goes into another month. January 30th to February 1st. It's a Thursday, it's a Friday, it's a Saturday. Thursday is sold out, I'm pretty sure. So you'll have to come Friday or Saturday. I'm trying to get the cool kids to come to the Friday Late Show. I would just like cool people to make the Friday Late Show cool. Let's have fun. Let's stop this worldwide trend of Friday late shows sucking. Let me be the one who makes Friday late shows fun again. Let's make Friday Late Show Chicago Improv in Schaumburg the best show of the weekend. And if you're thinking of coming to more than one show, come to the Friday Late Show. Then come to like a Saturday first show. But these shows are selling, so get on that. February 13th, Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, California. Also, February 6th, I believe, I will be doing my own show now at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. It will be, in my head, tentatively titled Orny Adams Rough Draft. And I'm going to get up there and just sort of talk with structure. And I want everyone there to be part of the show. And I want it to sell out. They want to do this weekly, bi-weekly. They're giving me carte blanche. They're telling me stage is yours. So I'm going to do an hour. Orny Adams at the Laugh Factory. I've got to tell them to get that link up. I want to start promoting and selling. Then, where am I else in February? I feel like I'm somewhere else. Am I off to Vegas? Am I off to McCurdy's? McCurdy's Comedy Club, Sarasota. That's in March. Tickets are selling so well, we just added a Thursday show. Today, link just went up. Thursday. Get tickets. No more messing around. No more futzing around. ornyadams.com/tour. Tour. The other thing is, I will be doing a show a few times a year, I think, at Flappers in Burbank. We're working those dates out now. So plenty of chances to see me. I'd like you to be like that kid that was there New Year's Eve that saw me in multiple locations. And now he's coming to Vegas to see me. All right, let's Let's talk about this exciting story because this excites me for so many reasons. Expert predicts, it's just one, I guess. It doesn't say experts. Expert predicts women will be having more sex with robots than men next year. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that more women will be having sex with robots than they will be having sex with men? Or does this mean that women will be having more sex with robots than men will be having sex with robots? Let's read on. I just read the title. I thought, this is perfect. What better way to end the podcast than on this story? Next year may be the year of the robot lover, meaning 2025. While many increasingly fear automation in the workplace, some futurists predict machines will come for our love lives in 2025. Well, guess what? For some people, that is the workplace, having sex. We call these people porn stars. The new year marks the date futurist Dr. Ian Pearson. Now, why did I stammer on doctor? Because there's no period. Why is there no period after doctor? Where's the automation in that? Dr. Ian Pearson, or is it Ian? Yeah, I was doing a show at the Laugh Factory the other day, and the guy came up to me afterwards, and he goes, hey, that was really funny. My name's Ian. I looked at him, I go, Ian? Ziering? The guy from 90210? I said, I know you. I know you, Ian. Wouldn't have recognized you because I barely look up when people come up to me now. You know, it happens so often, you're a big deal like me. He said, Ian. I go, there's only one guy in the world that's ever called, whose name is Ian, that calls himself Ian. That's Ian Ziering. I don't think anybody's ever done it since. Ian. I think there was a kid in my fraternity house named Ian. But I think it was Ian. I think it was Ian, and then he saw Ian Ziering. He goes, I'm going to be Ian too. That guy gets all the chicks. Dr. Ian Pearson anticipated humanity will start to see some forms of robot sex appearing in high-income, very healthy households. Then they put up a picture of the robot the women are going to sleep with, and I'll be honest with you, guy looks just like me. I'm like the ideal robot face. So my question is, why aren't more women trying to sleep with me? If I'm what, look at this picture, right? That's me. That's Orny Adams as a robot, as a sex robot. So I guess what's going to happen is all the rich women, instead of having sex with me, are going to sleep with the Orny knockoff robot lookalike guy. The physics and math doctor who has boasted of having an 85% accuracy rate for his forecasts argues women might overtake. Which forecasts are those? That 2 + 2 = 4? That after Sunday comes Monday? Argues women may overtake men in the adoption of sex robots. So there it is. It's who's going to sleep with more robots? I'll be honest with you, I don't blame the women. I don't blame the women one bit. Why women have put up with men as long as they have, I don't get. It can't just be for the sperm, because I can just go to a sperm donation place. Oh boy, listen to this. He argues women may overtake men in the adoption of sex robots by 2025, in part because they already have a technological head start. Vibrators have been around for over a century. So he thinks because they use vibrators, they're just going to... I mean, aren't men more desperate? Aren't rich men more like... Actually, rich men will get an escort. You know? You ever see the male escorts? How corny they are with their cowboy hats? All beefy and shit. All roided out. But now the vibrant sex toy industry doesn't just make standalone devices, but teledildonic devices that bring all the fun and functionality of computing and networks to sex too. Somebody just made that word up. Teledildonic. Oh, no, sorry. First conceived in 1975, Teledildonics has become the technical term of art for mechanical sex toys that operate remotely, whether via the internet or otherwise. By some surveys, as many as 63% of women admit they either already use or would likely use a sex toy, with 40% admitting virtual reality would make sex more fun and enjoyable. I think anything that doesn't involve a live man would be more enjoyable for a woman. Not to bash my own kind, but men suck. He says, I think it's men who should be worried. I'm not worried. I'm out of my prime. Put me out in the pasture. I don't give a shit. I've already been ripped off. Look at this guy. They're ripping off Orny Adams. Ripping off my essence right here. Made me into a sex doll. I think men should be worried. Harvard-trained mathematics and data scientist Dr. Kathy O'Neill said, it's entirely possible that robots can outperform them. Oh, there's no question. There's no question of... Excuse me, Dr. Kathy. You went to Harvard? And you're questioning whether a robot can outperform a man? Of course. We couldn't compete with a dildo. You don't think that makes an uneven playing field right there? Now you're going to bring a full robot in? Now, the thing is that women tend to be more emotional when it comes to sex and more tied to their partners. So what are they going to... What do they have, like 3 dates with the robot and then have sex with the robot? What is the robot going to have to take them to dinner too? How hard are the women going to make the robot work for it? Because if the robot now gets it easy and we still have to work for it, that's bullshit. Dr. Kathy. In the Me Too age, I feel like raising standards is quite reasonable, Dr. O'Neill wrote in a 2018 Bloomberg op-ed. It's called for, in fact, 2018, stuff's changed since then. According to at least one industry survey, women and men are already nearing parity in their use of sex dolls, suggesting this gender flip might truly be on the horizon. While only 17.4% of people reported having had sex with a robot at all. Who's having sex with a robot? I don't know anybody. This means that 1 in 6 people that I know are having sex with a robot. Are any of my friends having sex with a robot? Do I have to send out a group chat? Hey, 17% of you guys are using sex robots. Own up. Let's go. Who is it? Who's the freak on my friend list? Let's see. But according to Dr. Pearson, economics will still likely hinder widespread adoption in the near term. While some people will enthusiastically embrace free robot sex as soon as they can afford one, it won't have much chance of overtaking sex with humans until 2050. Oh, thank God. 2050. I'll be almost dead. If I'm not almost already dead now. I think in 2020, when I said 2025, I thought, oh, I'll almost be dead. Oh, boy. The shift will begin with virtual sex, which most people will have had by 2030. What's virtual sex? Is that like phone sex? Do people even use phones anymore to have sex? Is that sexting? Some might use only straightforward VR without the sex toys as part. Oh, I see. We put the Apple headsets on and have sex. I can't imagine any of this. I mean, what makes sex great is the warmth and everything I'm thinking about is just going to get me in trouble. By 2035, toys will be better developed, and most people, you don't want to be nailing a first-generation sex robot. I'm waiting until the 3rd generation at least. A lot of people will have reservations about sex with robots. Put me on that list. But by mid-century, 25 years from now, Dr. Pearson predicts humanity's squeamishness will gradually evaporate. Key technological advancements will help build consumer comfort with robotic sexual companions across the decades. I don't know what I just read. This article's starting to really bore me. You can theoretically buy robots now. Can you rent them? But they're not very good. Oh, it's a small market today. Yeah, you know, it'll be a big deal when like, God, what is a toy company? Nextel, when Apple makes a robot, then we know we're on to something. I would estimate, this is Dr. Pearson, AI has probably progressed about 35 to 40% slower than he expected it to. Oh, so the sex robot's not taking off exactly like this guy thought it would, huh? What does the doctor from Harvard think? She seems to know everything. I mean, obviously, if given the choice, women would rather not have sex with men in most of the time, at least according to, my personal experience. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have the sex robot guy that looks like me. I'm going to get him, have him in my house, and give women the option. I'm going to do my own little study. Where's New York University to do that study? Let's study if the people want to have sex with the Orny robot or the Orny. I think that's more important than the hula hoop. Gotta be kidding me. What episode was this? 139? Give me the notes. Episode 139, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? Thank you to Audio, Eric, for mastering this audio. What a fun episode this was. I'm going to go take a nap because I've got 2 shows tonight. I'm at the Laugh Factory. I'm at the Improv. I'm at the Laugh Factory tomorrow night. Love it. I wake up, I'm excited because I have shows. I'm like, what do I have to do today? I'm like, trying to have shows. Puts a little pep in my step. That's what it would say if I was a British TV show. Subtitles, it's a pep in his step day of the show. Yeah, so I'm going to go take a nap. I'm exhausted. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of work, this life. It really is. How about a robot that does my podcast? I'd like that too. I think that's what I really want. Orny robot. I'm going to be like, listen, I don't need you to nail my female guests. I need you to do my podcast. Thank you, Mr. Robot. Thanks, everybody. OrnyAdams.com/tour. Email what's wrong at OrnyAdams.com. We'll see you for 140. Enjoy what's left of the world.